Hi everyone, it is Atia here, Booking It with Atia, and today we are getting into day 5 of my Kwanzaa recommendation list. Today is all about the fifth principle of Kwanzaa, which is Nia, purpose, and I'm just going to give a brief overview. Well, Atia of the past is going to give a brief overview of what Kwanzaa is. Created by Dr. Malana Karinga in 1966, Kwanzaa is a week-long African-American and Pan-African holiday taking place December 26th through January 1st. Kwanzaa celebrates family, community, and culture and blends communitarian values and the practices of continental African and African American cultures. Each day of the week-long holiday focuses on one of the Nguzo Saba, or the 7 principles. So, like I said, today's video is all about 7 books that are Black authored, centering Black lives and Black people, and have a theme or heavily present theme of Nia, or purpose. Before I dive into these 7 lovely recommendations, I do want to encourage you to check out my bonfire or my Etsy shop to get yourself some merch or some bookmarks. And if you want to consider supporting me as a creator on a monthly basis, you can check out becoming a patron or a community member, which comes with its own set of little perks and things like that. And yeah, let's dive right in, starting with Lauren Harper Falls Apart by Shauna Robinson. Lauren Harper has a plan, a high-achieving, perfectly constructed 8-year plan. But after a totally blown out of proportion mishap at work, that plan is put to the test. As punishment for her mistake, she is transferred to the Riser Charity Department, a branch that just so happens to be located in the hometown she abandoned long ago, and that her powerful corporate employer is responsible for running into the ground. Horrified at the thought of returning and facing those she left behind, one in particular keeps coming to mind, Lauren quickly comes up with a new plan. Impress her boss enough that she's briskly whisked back to her big city life. However, it soon becomes clear that sticking to plans isn't that simple, especially when her ex-best friend enters the charity department demanding they help revitalize the town by bringing back the once famous Greenstead Apple Festival. Confronted by her past wrongs, Lauren immediately agrees to host the festival on Riser's dime. But soon enough, Lauren is swept away in town hijinks, chaotic planning sessions, and a second chance with a childhood friend that shows her why home isn't necessarily a place she has to run from. I talk about Lauren Harper Falls Apart in one of my Neck Alley November weekly updates. Which one? I think it might have been week 1 or the week 2 update. Probably the week 2 update. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that book, so I definitely recommend you check it out. The second book is The Hero's Equinox by Antoine Vandal. This is the 3rd book in the TJ Young and the Orishas series. I have trimmed the synopsis a little bit to get rid of the spoilers, but out of the 3 books, I definitely think this one holds the principle of Nia the strongest. How do you break a god out from a cosmic prison? You bring a crew and a whole lot of magic. TJ has already dealt with ancient African gods, and now he's being blamed for the death of Thor. Last year's conflict left TJ with both internal and external scars, but the mortal realm wasn't the only place affected by the destruction. The events of one dimension disturbed another, and a council of gods accuses TJ for the death of the Norse god of thunder. Worse, the Orisha of lightning, Shango, has been imprisoned as well. It'll be up to TJ and his friends to clear his name and save Shango, but TJ knows how difficult it is to deal with the Almighty, so he gathers a crew and prepares for a heist for the ages. Will TJ succeed, or will he be faced with a life sentence in a cosmic prison? The 3rd book on this list is actually the 1st book in a series that I mentioned in, was it the Ujima video, or was it Uji Chakali? I think it was Ujima. And that is Sister Samurai by Tatiana Obe. Afro Samurai meets the sword of Kaigen in this anime-inspired novella. This is no revenge story. I ain't got time for that. I've got errands to run and things to do, and barely enough time to make it home before sundown. I don't care why folks are going around stealing ink. I don't care why the monks are acting kind of strange. I don't care that everybody is expecting me to save them. I might be a Sister Samurai, but those days playing hero were back when my knees didn't ache and I wasn't the only one left. So leave me alone. All I want to do is get home, drink some green tea lemonade, and enjoy my peace. I'm not asking for much, so why are all these demons daring to get in my way? I am not the one. Not today. I absolutely love this book. Like, a total unexpected 5-star. Just go read it. Truly go read it. Tatiana is a wonderful human being, indie author, and just writing these gorgeously lush fantasy novels that center Black women and our personhood, and I'm very excited for book 3 in this series. Next up, we have This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. Soledad Barnes has her life all planned out, because of course she does. She plans everything. She designs everything. She fixes everything. She's a domestic goddess who's never met a party she couldn't host or a charge she couldn't lead. The one with all the answers and the perfect vinaigrette for that summer salad. But none of her varied talents can save her when catastrophe strikes, and the life she built with the man who's supposed to be her forever goes poof in a cloud of betrayal and disillusion. But there is no time to pout or sulk, or even grieve the life she lost. She's too busy keeping a roof over her daughters' heads and food on the table. And in the process of saving them all, Soledad rediscovers herself. From the ashes of a life burned to the ground, something bold and new can rise. But then an unlikely man enters the picture, the forbidden one, the one she shouldn't want but can't seem to resist. She's lost it all before and refuses to repeat her mistakes. Can she trust him? Can she trust herself? After all she's lost and found, can she be brave enough to make room for what could be? One of my favorite reads. I thoroughly love the Skyland series. I was like, what is the name of that romance series? The Skyland series, but This Could Be Us is my favorite out of the trio. Next up, we have Needy Little Things by Chanel Desamore. Soraya Lee Bryant can hear what people need. Tangible things like a pencil, a hair tie, a phone charger, an ability only her family and her best friend Malcolm know the truth about. But when she fulfills a need for her friend Deja, who vanishes shortly after, Soraya is left wondering if her ability is more curse than gift. This isn't the first time one of her friends has landed on the missing persons list, and she's determined not to let her become yet another forgotten Black girl. Not trusting the police and media to do enough on their own, Soraya and her friends work together to figure out what led to Deja's disappearance. But when Soraya's mother loses her job, and her little brother faces complications with his sickle cell disease, managing her time, money, and emotions seems impossible. Desperate, Soraya decides to hustle her need-sensing ability for cash, a choice that may not only lead her to Deja, but put her in the same danger Deja found herself in. Book number 6 is Bree Boyd is a Legend by Leah Johnson. 7th grader Bree Boyd loves rules, order, and knowing what's going to happen next. It's why she likes reading the same books over and over. It's why she's the school's reigning spelling bee champ. And most importantly, it's why she's never minded the high expectations her father has always had for her and her sisters. After all, if you're always the best, life can't throw many surprises at you. But for the first time, Bree has no idea what the future holds. Because when a huge storm delivers a bolt of lightning straight into Bree, it leaves behind something she never prepared for: the power to move things with her mind. All of a sudden, Bree's life, filled with rules and routine, is twisted upside down and inside. But will these new powers show Bree the magic of an unpredictable and perfect life? Or will they simply spell disaster for everyone? Irresistibly charming, laugh out loud funny, and brimming with heart, Leah Johnson's powerful series about ordinary kids with extraordinary abilities is nothing short of miraculous. This is one of those middle grade contemporaries that I absolutely love. It explores so much in such a young character, but also just like a short book too. Like, it's not a long book, it's not a long read at all. And I also highly recommend Evie Engel Saves Herself. And I definitely think that one has themes of Nia as well. Those two books are just gorgeous, beautifully written, beautiful character work. Love them both. The last book on this list is Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. In the stunning first novel in Marlon James's Dark Star trilogy, myth, fantasy, and history come together to explore what happens when a mercenary is hired to find a missing child. Tracker is known far and wide for his skills as a hunter. He has a nose, people say. Encouraged to track down a mysterious boy who disappeared 3 years earlier, Tracker breaks his own rule of always working alone when he finds himself part of a group that comes together to search for the boy. The band is a hodgepodge full of unusual characters with secrets of their own, including a shape-shifting man-animal known as Leopard. As Tracker follows the boy's scent from one ancient city to another, into dense forests and across steep rivers, he and the band are set up by creatures intent on destroying them. As he struggles to survive, Tracker starts to wonder, who really is this boy? Why has he been missing for so long? Why do so many people want to keep Tracker from finding him? And perhaps the most important question of all, who is telling the truth and who is lying? Drawing from African history and mythology and his own rich imagination, Marlon James has written a novel unlike anything that's come before it, a saga of breathtaking adventure that's also an ambitious, involving read. Defying categorization and full of unforgettable characters, Black Leopard Red Wolf is both surprising and profound as it explores the fundamentals of truth, the limits of power, and our need to understand them both. That synopsis did a really, usually I'm like, okay, synopsis, especially of fantasy books, are either giving away too much or they're, after I've read it, I'm like, this synopsis isn't what the book is about. But that synopsis does an excellent job not giving you too much. And I had Black Leopard Red Wolf on my list for a while, took it off my list and put it back on my list, and I was a little intimidated by it because of some previous reviews that I had read, but it was such a surprisingly enjoyable and funny read. And I think when you boil it down to its themes, purpose is definitely, like, a person's purpose is definitely woven all throughout that book. And I'm very much looking forward to reading the second one, which I need to in 2026. But those are the 7 recommendations I have for the 5th day of Kwanzaa. Nia, purpose. Let me know down below if you would add any books to this list, and if so, which ones would they be? Make sure to give this video a like and check out my Etsy shop and my bonfire, as well as consider becoming a Patreon member or community member. The link to my Discord is down below, the Bibliophiles Unite Discord. In January, we will be starting a buddy read of My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. So if you want to join us for a read, if it's your first time, or a reread, then make sure to check out the Discord and see what we're doing and all the things, all the fun things. And I will see you in another video. Bye!
Weakness showing. I ain't living for the moment. I see what's mine and I want it. Hungry like a Pac-Man. I'm Bruce Wayne and Batman. I'm Naruto with a Hanzo. Got a sharp mind like I'm Einstein. Plus I'm copywriting, so it's all mine. Check it for me.